Unable to pay tuition. I once pretended to be a girl and catfished a trust fund kid in an online romance. The lovestruck heir went all in, bankrolling my life and swearing to take care of me forever. Yeah, right. I ghosted him overnight. But guess what? We ended up as college roommates. During move-in week, I overheard Ethan grinding his teeth in the hallway. When I find that lying bitch, I'll fucking destroy them. My blood ran cold. 3 days into freshman year, I'd already pieced together his resume: star athlete. Family owns half the county, including a 3,000-acre golf resort and a hot springs club. His dad casually handed him a subsidiary pulling in millions annually as pocket money. I pinched the bridge of my nose. Life's not fair. Meanwhile, there's me, Lucas. Scholarship kid from a dirt poor town. My entire tuition came from scamming that lovestruck rich boy online. My childhood? Let's just say my parents' greatest parenting achievement was dumping me at grandma's shack. That stooped old woman scraped every penny from her vegetable patch to keep me in school. By high school, I was tutoring rich kids online at night, voice soft, webcam off. They all assumed I was some shy honor student girl. Didn't correct them. The gender markup earned me extra cash for grandma's medicine. When college acceptance letters came, university's tuition might as well have been a spaceship ticket. I was ready to settle for community college until that fateful Discord call. "You should be my girlfriend," buzzed the voice modulator on the other end. "I'll pay your tuition. We can meet in S City." My finger hovered over the disconnect button when $5,000 hit my PayPal memo, no strings attached. That's not a simp. That's a fucking patron saint. Grandma's wheezing breaths through our cracked phone receiver decided it. I took the money. What that rich idiot heard that night was my crisp bouquet through gritted teeth. What he didn't hear: the guilt churning in my gut as I packed for campus. Or how I nearly puked seeing Ethan's designer luggage in our dorm. Now his Armani-clad arm brushes mine as we squeeze past each other in the doorway. His cologne smells like expensive mistakes. Game on. Lucas was a decent boyfriend, though his barely legal age made him a bit too horny, constantly making unreasonable requests. Ethan messaged, "Babe, can I see your legs? Please?" I'd just finished weeding grandma's vegetable patch when I saw his text. Glancing down at my pale, stick-thin legs, malnourished from years of budgeting, I noticed fresh red scratches from fieldwork. The grainy camera captured their sickly allure. Blushing, I sent 2 quick shots. Though determined to scam tuition money from Ethan, this still felt degrading. Huffing noises. "Your legs are perfect. How'd you get hurt?" He responded. "Grandma's arthritis acts up in this rain. Did her farm chores. My poor girl. Take this for the clinic visit." $5,000 transfers followed. After the doctor's appointment, I sneaked into a boutique. The $50 blouse seemed extravagant, so I paired the new plaid skirt with an old tee. Kneeling on my worn mattress, I snapped a mirror selfie, youthful legs contrasting sharply with the shabby room. Ethan video called instantly. "New skirt?" His voice rasped, fabric rustling with suspicious wet sounds. "Yeah. Thanks for today." Say it properly. His pubescent croak reminded me of a dying crow. Heat flooded my cheeks as his breathing intensified. "Hubby," he gasped before going silent. That summer, our phone sex funded 4 years of college. His affection became dangerously addictive for someone starved of love. Until, after our usual late-night call, he forgot to hang up. "I'd never date her," Ethan scoffed to someone. "If I actually liked the charity case, I would have visited ages ago." Right. Why hadn't he ever asked to meet? "Lucas, you idiot, scamming this rich boy shouldn't hurt this much. Besides, he'd discover my secret the moment we met. Boys don't have this." I blocked him everywhere. Cicadas screamed as he called from a new number. "Babe, why'd you block me?" Did I? No. My voice stayed flat. I've got enough tuition money. This scam's over. To you. I was just a way to kill time anyway. So perfect timing, I don't want you anymore either. The voice on the other end paused before shouting hoarsely. Babe. My eyes red. I snapped back. Voice trembling. Don't call me that. I'm a fucking guy. I hung up, yanked out the SIM card, and snapped it. Done. Whatever happened between Ethan and me was over. Or so I thought. On my first day moving into the dorm, I heard his friends call him Ethan. My stomach dropped. During introductions, as the youngest, they dubbed me Fourth. What's Fourth's actual name? Someone asked. I swallowed hard, glancing at Ethan, the second oldest, leaning against his bed frame. I'm Lucas Mitchell. The moment Lucas left my lips, Ethan's head jerked up from his phone. Our eyes locked. I forced a calm smile. Something wrong? Ethan? No. His voice was cool, edged with a rasp that definitely wasn't the nasal tone I remembered. The Ethan I'd known for months had whined like a duckling, constantly flirting through the phone. This Ethan? All icy restraint and aristocratic disdain. No way they were the same person. Then, a week into classes, I walked onto the balcony as Ethan was chain smoking through a call. He swore he'd test into the Capitol. Knew the material cold. Can't be older than a grad student. He nodded at me absently before turning back. I scrambled to my bunk, shamelessly eavesdropping. Doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl, when I find them, I'll fucking end them. Steal my money? Fine. But mess with my feelings? The world couldn't be this small. Numb. I sat frozen as my sweatpants rode up, exposing pale shins. Ethan's call ended. He turned. You okay? 2 steps closer. His gaze snagged on my legs. I stiffened as his fingers closed around my calf. Ethan? His thumb brushed the red mark from the bedrail. Luke. He said suddenly. You're from City A. Not a question. My pulse roared. Luke. The pet name only one person had ever used. Wrong. I managed. Backwater town in County C. Technically true, our village only got absorbed by City A recently. I yanked my leg. He didn't let go. ID says C's Oncon County. Lewin Village. He studied my phone's photo before releasing me. My mistake. Fourth. No problem. My smile felt brittle. Looking for someone? Ethan forced a smirk. Find another con artist who played with my emotions. I jolted. Bitterness rising in my throat. Hypocrite. He's the one who insisted we'd never be serious. Just keeping up appearances. Now he's acting like some heartbroken Romeo? Panic surged as I remembered the tuition money I'd taken from him. Not to mention Grandma's medical bills. My gaze flickered over Ethan's 6 feet 1 inch frame, those broad shoulders tapering to a narrow waist, then dropped to my own scrawny limbs. If he decided to throw punches, I'd be roadkill. Since when do Ivy League trust fund babies fall for online romance scams? The words barely left my mouth before Ethan's hawk-like stare pinned me. His lips curved dangerously. Lucas. He drawled. I don't recall ever mentioning it was an online relationship. My knees buckled. Haha. Awkward. I might have overheard part of your phone call earlier. Really? I nodded like one of those bobblehead dolls. Ethan's gaze lingered on my face before dropping to the angry red marks on my thighs. Are you made of tissue paper? He frowned at the bruises. Just sensitive skin. I yanked the blanket over my legs. Ethan shrugged and turned toward the door. I'd barely exhaled when he spun back abruptly, catching me mid-gasp. Since your hometown's near campus, he said casually, keep an eye out for pale guys with feminine voices. Tell them Ethan doesn't take betrayal lightly. My pulse thundered. Sure. My voice had always been softer than most guys. Back in high school, they'd called me princess. That's why I practiced deepening my tone since freshman orientation. After the incident, I'd been avoiding Ethan like radioactive waste. But yesterday's library session ran late. Storm clouds rolled in as I stared at the downpour, mentally kicking myself for forgetting an umbrella. Lucas. I turned to see Ethan shaking rainwater from his jacket. My eyes lit up at his folded umbrella until he leaned it against the wall and stalked toward me. Dress shoes leaving wet prints across the tiles. His palm hit the wall beside my head, caging me in. You've been avoiding me. The cedar scent of his cologne mixed with rain as he leaned closer. Am I that terrifying, Luke? My breath hitched. Of course I was scared, terrified he'd discover I'm the love scammer he's been hunting. Ethan. What are you talking about? Why would I be afraid of you? I reached to push him toward our dorm, but his body, burning hot beneath his thin t-shirt, didn't budge. His gaze swept over my face before curving into a dangerous smile. Then why've you been avoiding me? Lucas? Did I treat you poorly? How could Ethan ever treat me poorly? After last month's confrontation, he'd started showering me with snacks and designer clothes, gifts meant solely for me despite our 4-person suite. The others joked I'd become Ethan's dorm wife. And no. You've been great. I stammered, back pressed against the library wall. His knee wedged between my thighs forced me to clutch his collar for balance. Then why run? His persistence pinned me like the thunderstorm raging beyond the eaves. Trapped between soaked limestone and his unrelenting grip, I choked out. We're from different worlds. Ethan. Friendship's impossible. Rain drummed the silence before he leaned dangerously close. Then skip friendship. Huh? Let's try things beyond it. His hand seized my waist before I processed the words. When his mouth crashed against mine, the electric shock weakened my knees. I couldn't escape the slick, audible heat of his tongue or the arm locking me against his hurricane kiss. By morning, my throat burned, whether from yesterday's chill or Ethan's care when he dismissed our roommates. I'll nurse him, he declared, leaving us alone with crackling tension. Had he kissed me because he uncovered my secret? Or because he's a total perv? Burying myself in blankets. I vowed my breakup decision years ago was right. Until weight crushed my chest in the dark. Stop, I wheezed beneath his assault. Only when dizzy did the bedside lamp click on, revealing Ethan straddling me with rumpled clothes and my wrists pinned. Tears welled as I croaked. I'm sick. Can't you back off? What did I even do to you? His thumb traced my swollen lips. Eyes shadowed. Everything. Lucas. The way you look when you're upset makes people want to kiss you. Ethan gazed down at me, then picked up the water glass from his bed and took a large sip. The next instant, his lips covered mine again. The lukewarm water carried a hint of lemony sweetness, quenching my thirst like desert rain. When he tried to pull away, my foggy mind instinctively hooked my fingers into his shirt to keep him close. After feeding me several sips, Ethan finally released my swollen lips. By the time he got out of bed, I was still panting. The delivery's here. I ordered congee for you. He shrugged on his jacket and paused by my bed, suddenly locking eyes with me. I curled deeper into the blankets, face burning, when he flashed an inscrutable smile. Lucas. You called my name in your sleep earlier. Huh? My fever-addled brain stuttered. You called me Ethan. Every muscle in my body locked up like I'd been electrocuted. I didn't know if I'd actually sleep-talked or if Ethan was messing with me, but panic flooded my veins regardless. On the day I recovered, Ethan pulled 2 hot spring resort tickets from his pocket and handed them to our eldest and third roommate. A friend's new place. Check it out. The eldest excitedly grabbed the tickets before pausing. Aren't you and Lucas going? My panicked eyes shot to Ethan. I opened my mouth to insist we join, but his fingers pressed warningly against my thigh, freezing me in place under his intense gaze. Lucas and I have some private matters to settle. Ice filled my veins. This was it, total doom. Saturday found our dorm eerily quiet. After a sleepless night sporting panda eye circles, I lay trembling in bed while tracking Ethan's movements. The rustle of his bed curtain announced his shirtless descent. His darkened eyes lifted to meet mine. "Get down here." Heart racing. I obediently climbed down. I'd spent all night rationalizing, so I'd taken his money? I'd pay it back. Maybe in installments. Worst case, he'd punch me a couple times. We lived in a civilized society, right? Ethan circled me once before suddenly gripping my waist. I jumped back like scalded. What are you doing? He ignored me, muttering while measuring my waistline with his hands. Lost weight again. What? He'd scared, raising an eyebrow. Not calling me bro anymore? You want me to keep calling you bro while you settle accounts? Dream on. Fair enough. He nodded casually before dropping into a chair. Fingers laced over his knees. You need money? I blinked. Huh? Your legs are nice. What? $5,000 to look at them. I gaped as Ethan continued like he was discussing the weather. You need cash. I've got it. Just keep me entertained. He rose from the chair and moved toward me, his fingers hooking into the waistband of my shorts to tug. I heard my own voice emerge flat and icy. Just looking at legs isn't enough? He nodded casually. I'll pay extra if I get to touch. Rage surged through me. My palm cracked across Ethan's face with a sharp slap. The impact snapped his handsome face sideways, leaving an angry red imprint blooming across his pale skin. What am I to you? Some toy you can play with because you've got money? Some cheap thrill you found on the street? My chest heaved. I'm poor because my parents abandoned me. That's my family's shame, not mine. You can mock me, look down on me, but you don't get to degrade me. Tears burned behind my eyes as I forced the words through trembling lips. I'll pay back every cent. Just leave me alone. He whirled back, the vivid handprint stretching across his cheek, but his attention locked onto one detail. Why repay me? The air felt too thick to breathe. However, I have to get it. I'll return your money. I grabbed my jacket and phone, only to have him slam me against the table, his grip iron tight around my wrist. Lucas, he growled, pinning me beneath him. Why repay me if you're the one who scammed me? Tears finally spilled over as I stopped struggling. Yes, it's me. I'm that male scammer who tricked you. Luke. I lay back on the table, eyes squeezed shut. Go ahead. Hit me. Instead of pain. I felt his chest heaving against mine. He wrenched both wrists above my head, his mouth crashing down on mine with bruising force. When I tried kneeing his groin, he bit my lip hard enough to draw blood. Where'd my Luke learn that trick? His breath came ragged, metallic tang between us. Trying to destroy your man? His large hand clamped around my thrashing knee, wrenching my leg sideways against the table until the ligament screamed. My gasp of pain seemed to excite him. Beautiful sound. Luke. Though our clothes stayed on, the obscene rocking of his hips against mine burned with humiliation. Get off. Rich boys can't buy consent, so they force it now? The table banged against the wall with his next thrust. He stilled abruptly, shuddering against me. My voice shook. Ethan, are you actually? His heated gaze burned through me, voice gravel rough. I only wanted to check your legs to confirm you were Luke. But you confessed outright. His hips pressed insistently. How should I punish my little scammer? Realization dawned. He'd never been certain until I admitted it. Stupid Lucas. Walking straight into the trap. I'll return everything. Let me go. His grip tightened. Why repay me if you're the thief? However, I have to earn it. Earn it? His pupils dilated, hands sliding under my shirt. I know exactly how you'll pay. The table creaked dangerously as he leaned closer. Our ragged breaths mingling. Every cent. With interest. My blood ran cold at the hunger in his eyes. This was no longer about money. But something far more dangerous. My chin was gripped harshly as he growled. Even? Don't even think about it. Ethan. The rest was swallowed by insistent kisses trailing downward until crimson marks bloomed across my torso. Trembling uncontrollably, I shoved at his shoulders with tearful protests that only fueled his aggression. When he bound my wrists to the desk and stripped me to pale skin, those burning eyes followed every twitch. Luke. He rasped. Lips brushing my ankle. Screamed too loud and everyone will hear. I tried kicking free, but he used the momentum to push deeper. Swallowing my choked gasp. Bite down, Ethan ordered, tucking my own shirt between my teeth before exposing my waist. His thumb pressed my lower lip. Unless you want the whole dorm knowing. Heat flooded my cheeks as I obediently clenched the fabric. The aftermath left me dazed in empty daylight. Sheets tangled around phantom bruises. We'd crossed every line except the final one. My face burned remembering how readily I'd arched into his mouth. Pathetic. I muttered into the mattress. Throat raw from silent weeping. This was punishment for scamming him. Nothing more. The bed dipped suddenly. Ethan's apology came out strained. Lucas, his knuckles whitened on my comforter. Finding out you're actually male, I panicked. Got too rough. I froze mid-sniffle. But then I realized, his grin turned wolfish. This works better. No more hiding. For 7 days he shadowed me, holding hands between classes. Smuggling breakfasts. Dragging me into every shadowed corner. Tonight brought creaking bed frames as he crawled over. Ignoring my hissed warnings. Ethan. The others. Sleeping like logs. His knee nudged mine apart. Breath hot against my ear. Come on. Roomy. Let's practice being close. Lucas. Did you miss me? Ethan climbed behind me, wrapping his arms around my waist until our bodies pressed together without any gaps. His every breath palpable against my skin. The jerk was getting horny again. I hissed through clenched teeth. As if. He kept clinging through my entire bedtime routine. When I grabbed my towel for the shower, only my quick reflexes with the bathroom door prevented this pervert from joining me. From finishing my shower to crawling into bed took less than 2 hours. Who'd have time to miss him? But I missed you, Luke. His scorching lips trailed along my nape. I tried squirming forward but got yanked back against his chest. The pajama shirt I'd barely managed to keep on rode up as his hands wandered lower. Thank God for dorm bunk beds if we'd been on a full-size mattress. This late-night self-service situation would have escalated way beyond just heavy petting. Come Friday afternoon, Ethan practically pounced the moment class ended, dragging me by the wrist toward the parking lot. Where are we going? Ethan. Answer me. He shoved me into his Audi without explanation. The suburban villa we arrived at made my palms sweat. Was he planning to, The front door swung open to reveal a room full of 20-somethings aiming party poppers. Surprise! Multicolored streamers rained down as we froze in the doorway. Ethan's grip tightened on my hand. His expression souring. What are you all doing here? Happy birthday. Dummy! Mia bounced over to playfully punch his arm. I flew back from Paris early just for this. Not pleased? I glanced at Ethan's profile. His birthday? Since when did he mention that? Whatever. His forced politeness toward Mia screamed old familiarity. My chest constricted when someone joked. Cut Mia some slack, she's your fiancé after all. Fiancé? The word hit like a gut punch. I wrenched my hand free so violently everyone turned from the golden couple to stare. And you are? Mia tilted her head with saccharine curiosity. Before Ethan could react, I blurted. His roommate. The lie tore through me like shrapnel. Lucas! Ethan growled, reaching for me again. Enjoy your party. I'm leaving. I bolted past the stunned crowd, sneakers slapping pavement until the iron estate gates loomed ahead. Ethan caught me mid-escape, slamming me against the ivy-covered wall. Where the hell do you think you're going? Back to campus. Go entertain your fiancé. I twisted free only to get pinned harder, tears betraying me. Why bother chasing me? I was just some side piece. Right? Side piece? Ethan's thunderous roar startled birds from nearby trees. I searched every damn frat house for 6 weeks when you ghosted me. Does that scream casual fling to you? All I know is what I overheard. That phone call where you said this was all just an act. His anger evaporated into stunned silence. You dumped me because of that? I nodded, the admission shredding what remained of my composure. You heard me talking to my father's campaign manager. Ethan gripped my shoulders, desperation cracking his voice. The media kept digging into our relationship. I had to downplay it for his Senate run. But that doesn't mean dash. Mia's shrill interruption cut through our confrontation. Ethan, are you seriously hooking up with some random guy at your own engagement party? Chaos erupted as paparazzi flashes blinded us both. Ethan, don't you dare lie to me. The next second, Ethan crushed his lips against mine in a searing kiss. I've never seen someone as clueless as you. That was Mia. When friends abroad asked about my relationship status, I was talking about Mia. Not you. Wait, not me? My body stiffened as shock froze me in place. You think I give a damn that you're male? If I just wanted to mess around, why would I completely rewire my sexual orientation? Ethan's voice shook with frustration. I spent 2 whole weeks planning our future together, right down to naming the damn golden retriever we'd adopt. And you somehow misheard one phone call? Lucas. Since you only believe what you hear. He growled, stealing my breath with another kiss. Let me make this clear. I've loved you since junior year when you tutored me in calculus. My mind went blank. Ethan loved me. Ethan wanted me. All this heartache, because I'd misheard a conversation? His punishing kisses left me lightheaded, guilt keeping me from pushing him away even when his teeth nipped my lower lip. MMPH. Now you remember to use my name? He threw me over his shoulder, marching past gawking party guests into our beach house. Get out! Ethan barked at our frozen friends, poorly containing his grin. Reschedule your damn gathering. I'm claiming alone time with my fiancé. Mia paled, trailing behind the exiting crowd until Ethan's voice stopped her at the threshold. Mia. She turned with hopeful eyes. Yes? We'll visit your parents next week to discuss. His arm tightened around my waist, terminating our family's marriage arrangement. Mia swayed before shooting me a venomous look and slamming the door. The sudden silence felt oppressive. Ethan tossed me onto the leather couch, already shrugging off his blazer. My throat went dry watching his hands work the buttons. In a panic, I flung myself against his chest, tearfully gazing up through my lashes. Ethan. I almost gave up on us. The hunger in his eyes softened, cradling my face. He pressed feather-light kisses along my jawline. Even if you ran to Antarctica, I'd track you down. Never doubt that. We spent the afternoon wrapped in quiet tenderness, which should have been my first warning. Just as I thought I'd escaped unscathed, Ethan strode in carrying a suspicious velvet box. My gulp echoed through the bedroom. What's that? He pushed me onto the mattress, methodically stripping away every layer until I sat bare-legged and flushing. My eyes widened as he produced sheer white stockings, his wandering hands igniting trails of fire across my skin. Did my little Luke really think puppy eyes would get you out of trouble? I could only watch helplessly as he dressed me in the scandalous maid outfit, complete with kitten ears. His burning gaze pinned me when he flipped up the lace-trimmed skirt. Now for the tail. He rasped against my ear, fingers teasing lower. But there's no tail in the Ethan's wicked chuckle vibrated against my throat. There is now. After clearing up the misunderstanding, Ethan transformed from a spoiled rich kid with a young master complex into someone whose mind was filled with nothing but dirty thoughts all day long. He either clung to me for kisses or started ordering random stuff online. To avoid disturbing our roommate's sleep, we eventually moved off campus. That night while Ethan was excitedly unpacking his latest delivery, my phone rang. Grandma's sick. My fingers turned white gripping the device. I panicked and tried to bolt outside still wearing pajamas until Ethan grabbed me. Don't be scared. I'll go with you. It'll be okay. We changed clothes and caught the first overnight flight home. By 2 a.m., we were hailing a cab to the hospital. Nurse. How's my grandma? My voice shook. She sighed. Nothing serious. The elderly lady tried eating 3-day-old leftovers. Mild food poisoning will keep her for observation. Thank you. Relief made my legs give out. Sitting outside Grandma's room, I clutched Ethan's shirt and sobbed uncontrollably. Shoo. She's fine now. His large hand cradled my head against his chest. Voice thick with emotion. I was so scared. She's all I have left. Lucas. He murmured into my hair. You have me too. Let's take care of her together. Okay? Okay. We dozed on hallway benches until dawn. I woke to Ethan returning with 2 steaming takeout containers. Rise and shine. Let's eat with Grandma. She looked brighter already. Spotting me, she beckoned. Come here. Let me see you. Her frail fingers brushed my face. Thinner, but healthier. Noticing Ethan arranging utensils, she added, Your friend's so thoughtful. Be good to each other. Feeling her feather-light touch, I suddenly grabbed Ethan's hand. Grandma, he's not just a friend. He's my boyfriend. Ethan froze, nervously watching her reaction. After a long pause, she studied him intently before sighing. Our Lucas hasn't had an easy life. Don't you dare hurt him. Her wrinkled hand patted his. If he misbehaves, tell me. I'll scold him proper. The tall athlete turned scarlet, nodding earnestly. I'll never hurt him. Later at the sinks, I teased the dazed-looking man. Didn't someone promise not to bully me? He grinned goofily. Yet someone wrecked me last weekend. Ethan's face combusted. That's different. How? Still bullying. People stared as the crimson-faced giant mumbled. You're the bully. I'm telling Grandma. Hiding my blush, I poked his rigid bicep. Then tell her I like you too. He stiffened before suddenly spinning me midair. You're confessing? Ignoring bystanders' stares, he babbled, What should we name our kids? My cheeks burned. You idiot. Men can't get pregnant. Heh. It's okay. We'll get there if we try a few more times. Ethan. Can this guy ever be serious? My cheeks burned with embarrassment. But seeing that goofy grin of his, I couldn't deny the truth anymore. I'm totally into him.